Welcome back, Aces, to another X-Wing Battle Report. Today we're at a store tournament at Johnny Cee Cards in Wausau, Wisconsin. And I am flying Kanan Jarrus with extra munitions, chopper, Recon specialist, fire control systems, auto blaster turret with guidance chips and plasma torpedoes. I've also got Hera Syndulla with extra munitions, Flechette torpedoes, guidance chips, Zeb, 9-num, auto blaster turret, and fire control systems.
And we have Victor with an Omicron squadron pilot with Palpatine and electronic Baffle. Countess with X7 title and Juke. And Vessery with the D title, tractor beam, and adaptability.
This is one of my favorite fights from this event. I really like both of these lists, both of these builds. I think the only thing that I'm not entirely sold on is in Victor's list. I don't think Countess wants Juke. I think she wants Push the Limit.
Yeah, I think if you can find the points for it, I think that ends up making it more powerful. I mean, it's not like it's bad. Juke has a natural synergy with X7, but just the Countess's ability to get rid of things is of stress is so powerful. I think you're hurting yourself more than anything else not having.
Yeah, if you run Countess with Push, she wants the twin ion engine Mark II just to open up her dial a little bit more and give her more options. But I think having Push allows her to get that target lock out for Vessery a lot better. Unfortunately, most of the time I think you're locked into taking X7 on Vessery, and having that one tractor beam out there can be really useful. Not really doing anything in this match, but
that's one of the advantages of this very beefy list. It's doesn't really care about some of the more sort of manipulative shenanigans.
Yeah, this is my first event using two ghosts, and I always kind of like just laughed at the idea of just running the two ghosts, just zero agility. They're just going to get mowed over. You know, I was a big fan of Brobots, and I mean, I still think two-ship builds are viable, but after using it and seeing how much damage that these ships can put out, it's a really solid build.
Well, if the dice are with you.
Yeah.
5 dice and one hit, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah. I opted for the evade there on Hera, assuming that Vessery was going to follow right along with the Countess there, and I was going to have two defenders range 1 shooting at me. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and my attack suffered. I'm really liking Hera's ability, especially with 9-num, being able to... I revealed a 3 forward maneuver and was able to change it to a 1 forward, just to hopefully avoid the bump with Vessery, so Vessery was going to get the range 1 shots on me anyway. But it just would have made my position better had Vessery gone for the 5 forward instead.
Do you think a 4 forward would have, in this particular situation, would been a better choice?
I don't think so. I think it would have allowed me to maybe focus a little bit better. So I don't recall if Vessery was at range 1 there or not, but getting 2 auto blaster turrets on one ship, I think would have been the ideal play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to pass up 5 dice.
It is. I think that's one of the reasons why I find auto blaster such a difficult thing to put on the ghost. Is I really want that 5 dice.
Yeah, I mean the 5 dice is huge. I think I should have used the auto blaster in this game a little bit more. Victor's got a lot of damage mitigation with Palp and those defenders.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of hoping to try to get a quick kill or get a lot of damage in right off the bat.
Well, if you'd had that focus, you really would have.
Yeah.
I especially like the inclusion of Baffle on the shuttle. I think it's something that you don't see that often on Palpatine builds. Usually it's just Palpatine and go for it.
Yeah.
But I think it really really adds something to the list that the shuttle is now at least a little bit more capable of getting into the fight.
Yeah, a lot easier time turning around.
So I think that's
it's just huge. You need to have all 3 ships doing something in there for the opening engagement. As much as you want Palpatine in there, if Palpatine does bite the bullet and dies off first, I mean, you've still got 2 fresh defenders, and they're extremely capable.
Well, I mean, he's taken upwards of... I mean... It takes 10 hit points. It's got 10 hit points. That's a lot of damage. If Palp dies in a single turn from shooting, then that's a lot of hate that would have been directed towards one of your other ships. I think the problem is just that with if you don't have the shuttle in the engagement and actively trying to put out damage, then you just have a 2-ship build with smaller, less hulled ships for your 2 ships.
Yep.
And you're going to lose that matchup in today's
Here we have the first crit on Kanan Jarrus. Unfortunately, it was a blinded pilot.
Never want to see that.
Yeah, well, at least it's early on in the game, and I've got one of them out of my deck now.
Yeah, that's the thing with these and decimators. You get real familiar with all the
real bad crits.
Still, not having the blind pilot would have been really useful here. Could have shot Vessery again.
I really like Hera's ability with Zeb as well. Being able to have a lot of manipulation on when and where you're going to be able to bump, especially at Pilot Skill 7. Really comes in handy. Not so much in this fight, but especially against the lower Pilot Skill guys. Being able to take a 1 forward, turn it into a 2 bank, just to bump somebody and still get shots is really huge. And that torpedo rear arc.
That's super useful. I think it's a great addition. It really adds a lot of versatility to running the Ghost without the shuttle, which makes the 2 Ghostville viable, because otherwise it just wouldn't work if you had to put a Ghost in each one.
Yeah.
Riyadh is so versatile. I really like the Countess. She's so... she's everywhere. She's awesome.
Especially against the lower pilot skill guys, you're not exactly sure where they're going to go. I mean, you can plop down a 4 straight, and if they end up overshooting you or going behind you, you can just use it as a K-turn anyway. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of planning.
Well, I think one of the reasons why I like PTL on her is, even though I think X7 is the best title for her, because she is most often going to be fast, the fact that she can do a green 2K is so useful. I mean, B-Wings were considered borderline broken for that, and it's red! So I think in this case it's pretty, it's something special that she can do that so easily.
Extremely strong pilot. No wonder we've seen quite a lot of her at a lot of the tournaments we've been going to.
So much damage. The Ghost is such a beefy platform. I know it has the same hit point total as the Decimator, but it somehow just feels more.
We've got the Auto Blaster turret. Picking up a crit to re-roll it.
Well, not being able to dodge it is worth putting that damage through.
Especially with target lock focus. I've seen a lot of people fly it with accuracy corrector just to guarantee the 2 hits, but I think the fire control is just better just because of your 4 or 5 dice attacks.
Yeah, I mean,
and here we have another crit on Kanan. That one's double damage. So Kanan down to 1 hull remaining. Not in a happy spot.
No, indeed. And this just goes to show how dangerous this list, this Palpatine list is. You've got Kanan down to 1 health, and it's still a full fleet Like, Riyadh's hurting pretty bad, but in exchange, that's 4 damage on Riyadh, and 15 damage on Kanan.
Yeah.
That's
quite an exchange.
Poor Kanan here doesn't really have a chance.
Trying to get out of range. And here with Hera up next, I revealed a 1 forward, and I like having the option. Like, I could have 2-banked and gone for a range 1 shot at her, and maybe have taken her out, but being able to boost it out with 9 numb to a 3 forward, guarantee range 1, get the auto blaster in there with target lock and focus.
Not to mention no return fire if it doesn't work out.
Yep. Alright, and Hera shoots first with that auto blaster turret. And spending that focus for 2 hits.
And it's the end of Riyadh. Goodbye, Countess.
Takes so much work to take her out.
It does. When any defender, the stat line is just so good that even if you're just rolling average, it takes a lot of work to get rid of them.
We've got Vessery at range 3, it looks like. And 2 damage is more than enough.
Goodbye, Kanan. Here goes Majestic Space Cow over some space debris.
I was unaware of this at the time. Since you're rolling for debris or asteroid on a friendly ship, you can use Palpatine on it. He actually rolled a crit here, and it took us a while to figure it out. We had to ask a friend real quick, but it turns out you can spend Palpatine to negate one of your asteroid rolls, which is pretty solid, and he baffles away the stress token as well.
What do you think of the internet's call to ban Palpatine?
I don't think Palpatine is too overpowered. I mean, yeah, he's pretty common, but I mean, you pay a pretty hefty price for him, and he's not on a ridiculous vessel, you know. I mean, if the Empire had access to something like something like the Lancer or something else that had 2 crew and 2 agility, I think that would be a little bit overpowered. But I don't think Palpatine is too good. He is really solid. We do see him a lot, but I don't think he is overpowered.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not in favor of banning things usually. I haven't met a Palpatine list I thought was too overpowered.
A lot of the Palpatine lists are very solid, but I mean, a lot of them require a lot of player skill. And here's that range 1 5 dice attack.
So do you think here the Auto Blaster would have been a better choice, or?
With a target lock and focus, I think 5 dice is better.
I agree.
If Vessery had the X7 title and a evade token on him, I think I probably would have opted for the Auto Blaster turret, but
this here is a decision I disagree with. Baffling here took the shuttle down below half health, so giving up points, and not an arc, not going to see anything, and I don't think that necessarily opening up the 2-turn is definitely worth it, considering you're now at 3 hull or 4 hull.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're in a little bit of a risky position here.
I think it was a good move. He needs to get Palpatine, or at least the shuttle, back in the fight. We've got the first Flechette torpedo getting a crit in from guidance chips, and it's double damage.
That's big deal. So, if you were to run a Ghost with the shuttle on it, would you still go for Auto Blaster turret, or would you want to have a longer range turret to take advantage of that title?
I really like the Auto Blaster turret on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really solid upgrade. I mean, especially with Hera, if you can control, if you're still running the same Hera build just with a shuttle attached to it, getting in, bumping, or forcing a higher pilot skill ace to bump, getting 5 dice on it with fire control systems, and then still being able to roll those 2 dice for guaranteed hits in, I think is better than any other turret that you could put on there. I mean, Dorsal is fine, it's solid, but I mean, for the points, I think Auto Blaster turret is just better with the control that you get out of Hera's ability.
Dead
We've got Vessery going down to the second Flechette torpedo. Getting 2 crits through, and unfortunately neither of them prevented him from shooting again.
So at this point you have, what, 4 hulls left?
I think I got 5 hull remaining. And Victor with that free target lock and focus managing to get in a few more. And another crit, it's just reducing my agility. Nothing too special there.
3 damage, that's, the reliability of putting 3 in is just so painful.
3 health remaining, and spending that target lock and focus for 3 damage. And that's game. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that like button. We'll get some more videos out here for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.